Have you ever had that absolute heart-dropping moment? You know the one, you're frantically searching your wallet right before a doctor's appointment, only to realize your Michigan Medicaid card is just gone? Whether it slipped out, got stolen, or somehow survived a trip through the washing machine, panic usually sets in right away. But hey, take a deep breath. Getting a replacement MyHealth card is actually a super straightforward process. In this explainer, I'm going to give you a complete step-by-step survival guide to getting a new card in your hands, so you can keep your healthcare access completely uninterrupted.
I know losing your MyHealth card is incredibly stressful, especially if you or your family rely on it for regular care. But I want to reassure you right off the bat, your health coverage absolutely does not disappear just because that little piece of plastic is MIA. The card? It's really just a tool. Your actual benefits live safely in the state's central databases. We just need to get you a brand new key to access them.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's what we're looking at today. First, the MIMTELF Health Card Basics. Then, how to request replacements. Third, updating your demographic info. Next, temporary proof of coverage. And finally, troubleshooting and final tips.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the Min Health Card Basics.
Let's quickly look at what this specific piece of plastic actually does within the Michigan healthcare system. If you've been enrolled for a while, you might actually remember those old monthly blue paper cards. Well, the modern MyHealth card is entirely different. It's a permanent, static identification token issued by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, or MDHS. Basically, it only shows your name and your unique recipient ID number. Because it's static, it doesn't display your active coverage dates or your specific plan types. What does that mean for you? Well, having the physical card doesn't automatically guarantee active coverage, and losing it doesn't mean your coverage ended. Providers literally just use the number on the front to look you up in the state's system.
Now, here is a point of frequent confusion. Most folks enrolled in Michigan Medicaid actually have a dual card requirement. You've got your state-issued MyHealth card, that's the green and blue one, but you also likely have a private Medicaid health plan card. Think companies like Blue Cross Complete or HAP CareSource. Replacing your private managed care card is a completely separate process from replacing the state card. So if you lost your Blue Cross card, you got to call Blue Cross directly. Today, we're focusing exclusively on replacing that state-issued MyHealth card.
Moving right along to Section 2, how to request replacements. Now, what's really interesting about this is that the state has intentionally created multiple actionable pathways to get a replacement. It's perfectly tailored to your tech comfort level. If you prefer speaking to a real human, the most direct method is just calling the MDHHS beneficiary helpline at 1-800-642-3195 during their standard working hours. More of an online person? You can use the Healthcare for ME web portal, though you will need a specific 4-digit PIN from your original enrollment letter for that one. Even better, if you're comfortable with smartphone apps, you can use the state's MyHealth Button app or the MyHealth Portal website, which pull real-time data using your Mill login credentials. And lastly, if you don't have internet or phone access handy, you can always just visit a local MDHHS office in person. Just remember to bring your standard ID documents.
Regardless of which method you actually choose, you gotta know two things. First, replacement cards are completely free, no charge at all. Second, it's gonna take roughly 5 to 10 business days for the new card to show up in your mailbox. Oh, and here's a quick, kind of surprising security note. The second you initiate a request for a replacement card, the state automatically deactivates your old one to prevent fraud or identity theft. So if you happen to find your old card tucked away in the couch cushions 3 days later, just cut it up. Seriously, it won't work anymore.
That brings us to Section 3, updating your demographic info. Before you actually request that replacement, we have to address what is arguably the most critical and, honestly, the most frequently missed prerequisite step: verifying your address. Look, if you've moved since you first got your Medicaid card, you can't just order a new one and hope for the best. The automated mailing system is going to route that physical card straight to your prior address on record. You absolutely must update your address in the MI Bridges portal first. And here is where people get tripped up by a weird quirk in the system. You have to execute a dual entry update. Basically, you have to update your address in your personal profile section and in the formal report changes section of the dashboard. The profile update just changes what you see on your screen, but that report changes submission, that's the only thing that actually alerts your caseworker to update your official file. You literally have to do both.
So the crucial point here is this mandatory 1-week administrative latency period. You absolutely must wait 1 full week after updating your address in MyBridges before you order the replacement card. This gives your local caseworker the time they need to review the changes, update the primary eligibility database, and sync those records with the separate card issuing systems. If you order the card during this 1-week window, there's a very high chance it'll bounce right back to your old house. So patience is key here.
Let's move on to Section 4, Temporary Proof of Coverage.
Let's shift our focus to continuity of care for a second, because, well, life doesn't exactly pause for administrative delays, right? Imagine this hypothetical. Your wallet is stolen on a Tuesday, but you have a vital dental appointment scheduled for Wednesday morning. Do not cancel that appointment. Physical possession of the card is not a mandatory prerequisite for care. You've got options. First, you can provide a verbal ID. Just give the provider your social security number or your full name and date of birth. The provider can use this to query your active eligibility in real time via the state's CHAMP system. Second, you can log into your MyBridges account, click on View Letters, and print out a recent eligibility approval notice to hand to the receptionist. Or third, if you use the My Health Button app, you can pull up a digital screenshot of your card interface right on your phone. We've actually heard from beneficiaries who used a quick screenshot of the app right at the pharmacy counter, instantly avoiding a delay in picking up a vital prescription while their physical card was lost in the mail. It's a real game changer.
And finally, Section 5, Troubleshooting and Final Tips.
Let's look at a few special administrative scenarios. Here's a somewhat surprising discovery if you're applying for Medicaid and you're classified under a deductible track, which you might know better as a spend down. Your card issuance workflow is completely different. Unlike standard Medicaid recipients who usually get a card within a week of their case opening, beneficiaries on a deductible track won't receive a physical card at all while their deductible remains unmet. It's literally only after that established deductible threshold is officially satisfied and active eligibility is triggered that the state actually generates and mails out the physical card.
This brings us to a slightly more complex scenario for special administrative populations, specifically those under the Adoption and Guardianship Assistance Office, or AGAO. Now, the AGAO cannot directly issue replacement cards. If you're an adoptive parent, you still have to call that main beneficiary helpline. Furthermore, when a child transitions from foster care to an adoptive placement, they are assigned a brand new recipient ID number. A super common issue we see is medical providers looking up the child using their name and date of birth. This accidentally pulls up the old, closed foster care file, making it look like the child has no coverage at all. Providers must query the system strictly using the newly assigned recipient ID found on the post-adoption MyHealth card. It's a small detail, but absolutely crucial.
As we close out, I do want to deliver a quick professional disclaimer. Administrative rules, portal interfaces, and agency protocols, they are always subject to updates. While this explainer gives you a really solid, highly detailed foundation on exactly how the system is designed to work, calling the beneficiary helpline at 1-800-642-3195 is always your best bet to verify current state procedures, especially if you run into any unique roadblocks.
So I want to leave you with this final, proactive question. Have you logged into your MyBridges account recently to verify your address is accurate? Seriously, don't wait until your card is lost or stolen to find out your file is out of date. Take 5 minutes today, log in, check your profile and your report changes section, and safeguard your healthcare access for the future. You could even take a screenshot of your digital card on the My Health Button app right now, just to have a safe digital backup saved in your phone. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay empowered with your health coverage.